Welcome. In this video, I will give a demonstration of the event calendar maker template. This is the version 2 of the template. We will be starting with the blank template and then start entering the events and then see how the designs are created. The first thing I'm going to do is to create a new window so that we can see how the changes are reflecting in the calendars. So I'm going to go to the View tab, hit New Window, and this will create another window so that we can compare the two at the same time. So it's the same file, but then Excel allows us to have both sheets in view at the same time. And so I'm going to have, this is on the left is where we will actually entering the data. On the right, we want to see how the calendar display. So I'm going to use the yearly view for now. And the yearly view has the 12 months. And right now it only shows, 2015 calendar because that's what we have in the settings. So if I change this to 2016, hit enter, and now, as you can see here, the calendar is updated. So I'm going to go back to 2015 and it updates instantly. And you can change the month, how you want to start the year. So it can be February, and now it goes all the way to January 2016 because it's a 12-month calendar. So let's say we want to go back and choose January again. And then we will have the week beginning on a Monday. And so now the week will begin on a Monday on the calendar. And the same thing works in all the other calendar designs too, but we're going to use the yearly as the standard so that we can start looking at how it displays. So let's go and to the next section so we can control the weekends. And you can see here that all the Sundays and the second Saturday of every month are in red font, and that's because that's what we have told the template to do. Let's say I don't want the second Saturdays and I delete it from here, and there you have it. Now let's say I want the first Saturday of every month to be considered a weekend, and now you see it here. So that's very straightforward. You can control which days you want to be considered as weekends, in other words, non-working days for your situation, and it'll be colored in red font on the calendar design. Then we can actually control the types of events and the colors. So let's say I'm going to create type 1 and I will choose brown. Type 2, let me choose another color here, green. Type 3, we will enter lavender. So we have selected 3 colors individually for each event type. Of course, the event types can share the same color, but that would kind of defeat the purpose in most cases. So usually you would choose the event type and any color. You have about 15 colors here to choose from, and then you can have 12 event types. Once you're done with it, we're done with this part. Now it's up to creating the events. So this is how the sheet looks like, and we will begin by entering an event name. So I'm going to keep it really simple, event 1. Now we would actually have to choose a specific type of event. And I'm going to choose, let's say, type 1, and we want it to be, let's say this is a one-time event. So in the frequency type, let me choose one time. So this is a one-time event, and this is going to happen on 9th of January 2015. There you have it. Instantly, you see the color reflected here, and that's because it's a type 1. But what if I say this is a type 2 event, then the color changes to green, and that's because we have assigned the colors that way in the home page. Type 3, it's lavender. So this is very straightforward. And now let's say I want to create another event, event 2, and this would be something which I want to highlight as event type 2. So I will just choose type 2. Now, one thing to keep in mind here is that if we are entering data here in this table, please make sure that you enter within the table or just in the outside the table, the first row outside the table. If I type in event here, the template will not understand it. The template will not include that. That's just the way how Excel tables work. So please make sure that you see the table, and you can see the table here because they have slightly different colors as backgrounds. The table ends here. Another trick here to know where the table ends is also go to the rightmost. You see this little arrow here. This is where the table has ended. So the only 2 rows are in this table for now. If I want to create another event, I need to type in here in the next row, and then now you can see that the colors changed. So I can go back here, and now we have 3 rows in this table. So that's how the Excel tables work. So please make sure that you enter the data in such a way that the data will be within the table. If it's not within the table, then the calendar will not capture that. Now let's go back to type 2, and you see that it shows it's a red border because it's an error, because we haven't entered the start date, we haven't entered the frequency type. So let's say this is an event that I want to start 10th January 2015, and I want it to go all the way through 20th April 2015. But I want it to happen every 2 days. So I'm going to choose every nth day, and I will go to the n column and type in 2. What this does is actually now create an event starting from the 10th of January through April 20th. So I can see it here. It goes all the way to April 20th, but it creates it every 2 days. So 10, 12, 14, 16. So that's how simple as it is to create an event that happens every n days. Now let's say I want to create it for daily, and I want it to happen. Now you see that when I chose daily, it just went away from the calendar. And that's because when we do daily, you can provide specific days that you want it to happen. So let's say I want it to happen only on Mondays and Tuesdays and Wednesdays. Let's say I enter 1 in Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday column, and now you see that the events are created Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday from 10th January to 20th April. That's how the daily works. The N is not applicable for daily. So I can remove that. Now the next frequency type what we want to tie is weekly. And the weekly, for example, now we've entered it weekly from 10th January to 20th April. So what the template will do is to create Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday on a weekly basis. So it works the same way, except now you can actually control the N, which means I can say, do it only every 2 weeks. Now you can see week 1 leaves the week 2, goes to week 3. Similarly, it leaves the next week, goes to the next week. So every 2 weeks you can do it, and you can do it for any weekday. If I don't want it to be Tuesdays and Wednesdays, I delete it. Now it'll happen only on Monday. So every 2 weeks on Mondays from 10th January to 20th April. So that's how we created this. We can go to monthly, and in this case, monthly, and we have only Monday selected, and we want it to be from 10th January. So for this one, I'm going to select all this, type 1, control enter. This will actually enter 1 in all the columns. And now what has happened here is we said this is a monthly event starting from 10th January. So you can see the 10 is colored green. And the next 10th is February, but it's not selected. The reason is the N is 2. So it does every 2 months. So I'm going to remove the 2 here, and now it'll do every month. So 10th January, 10th February, 10th March. We also have 10th April. So this is very easy to create monthly events. And if I want it to happen every 2 months, I select 2 in N column and I hit enter. Now it'll do every 2 months. So that's how the monthly works. And the weekdays are important. So if you don't select a specific, for example, I don't want this event to happen on a Saturday or a Sunday, then you will remove 1 from Saturday and Sunday. Instantly you saw that the 10th January went off, because 10th January is a Saturday. Unless you enable Saturday here, it'll not be displayed on the calendar. The next event type we have is nth weekday of the month. The way this works is when you select a specific weekday of a month. For example, let's just choose Monday again. I'm going to delete all this. Monday, but n is 2, so second Monday of every month between 10th January and 20th April. So January, the second Monday is actually 12th. So you see that the 12 is highlighted, second Monday of February, second Monday of March, second Monday of April. So all those 4 are selected. And you can also do, I want to select Monday and Friday. That's pretty straightforward. Now, every second Friday and Monday of every month will be selected. Now let's look at the last frequency type we have, which is the last weekday of the month. So I'm going to choose last weekday of the month, and we already have Monday selected. And so it automatically highlights the last Monday of a month between 10th January and 20th April. So you can see here that 26th January, 23rd February. We don't have April selected, and that's because 20th April, the event ends, and 27th April is the last Monday, so that's why that is not selected. Now, we've covered all the frequency types, and the next important thing to understand in this template is this column active or not, and this column helps us to control which events will be displayed on the calendars. So for example, if I don't want this event to be displayed, then I put N in here, and then this would inform the template that we don't need that event to be displayed, so it removes it. However, if I wanted to bring it back, I can delete the N and then it comes back. So that's the purpose of this column. Even though you may have entered a lot of events, but if you just want to show only certain events on the calendar at a time, you can easily toggle between N and blank in this active column. The next important column is the priority column, and in this is used to handle priority of events whenever you have more than one event on a day. So let's, for example, I'm going to change the second event to start from 9th of January. So now on the 9th, we want to see if we can have an overlapping day. For example, both events would be active on the 9th. So for that, I'm going to go and say weekly. Let's put Friday. Remove the N. I will also remove even Monday here just to be clear. We have every Friday between 9th Jan and 20th April. So 9th Jan and 20th April, every Friday will be selected. However, we also have a one-time event on 9th January. So we have both events active on the same day, 9th January. In order to confirm this even further, you can go to the yearly with events calendar design, and you can actually see that both events are happening the same. So you'll go here, choose event instances, and now you can actually see that on the 9th of January we have event 1 and event 2. Both events are happening on the same day. But however, the color that we have given is a lavender color, and that's the color that we have selected for event 1 because type 3 is associated with the lavender color. I'm going to go back here to the sheet, type 3, lavender, and that's why 9th of January is selected as lavender color. Now, we can control this by assigning this as number 1 priority, and this will be number 2. So in this case, we are telling the template that the second event is higher priority, and you saw that the color changed from lavender to green, and anytime when I want to change it back, it's very easy. You can put this as second priority and put this as first priority, and now you are controlling the colors or priority of the events on the same day. Please note that the lower number indicates higher priority. If you leave it as blank, blank equals 0, and that will be considered as the highest priority. The other thing to keep in mind is if you have two events with the same priority, like 1 and 1, for example, the event that appears first in this table will be given the priority. In this table, this event comes first, after that comes the next event. So the first event gets the higher priority, because whenever there is a tie in the priority values, the order in which it's entered in this table takes priority. So we have the lavender color chosen now. So this is how the priority field can be used to control what you want to display on the calendars. The next few columns are optional columns and event description, start time, custom column, and custom column 2. So you can just type in event description. These columns again will only appear in the daily calendar view. And let me just enter something here, 1 p.m. And the custom columns, you can just click on the name and then change it to location, for example, and then you can change this to team, and then it could be a conference, team room, conference room, and this could be project 1, this could be project 2, assuming there are different team names. And then the validation column will tell you if there is any kind of error in your input, or whether the specific event will be displayed or not. And this is the end of data entry. And now we can just go to the different calendar designs and see how it works. So I'm going to enlarge this window. And now we can see the yearly design. This is how it looks, yearly with events, monthly. There is no further data entry necessary in all these calendar designs. All you have to do is to go and print them. The weekly with events, you can control where you want the week to begin. And so, for example, if I wanted to begin on 9th of January, I enter 9th January and I get my week's events listed. The daily works similarly. So if I want to choose 9th January, I see that I have 2 events. It's sorted by time. So 8 a.m. event comes first and then 1 p.m. And if I want to actually show the extra columns that we added, just type Y here, and now you have them show up in these 2 columns. So now you've created a daily calendar. So these 6 calendars can be printed. They are ready to be printed. They're preset. So all you have to do is to go File and then hit Print. And you can see that they are ready to be printed. All you have to do is hit Print. When you go to the monthly designs, you can also go and hit File, Print there, and then it'll give you an option of printing which pages. So you can print 1 page at a time or all the 12 pages, because it's a monthly calendar. And you can do the same with the weekly and daily also. However, if I want to convert this into a PDF, then I go and hit File, Export, Create PDF, and I'm using Excel 2013 for Windows here. And it'll give you a dialog box where you can click on Options, and you can control which pages you want to convert into the PDF, and then hit Publish. And with this very simple, quick thing, you can create PDFs which you can share or print from. So we have covered in this video how to set up the calendars, how to enter the events, and then how do you view and print the calendar designs. If there are any further questions about the template, please visit indzara.blogspot.com, and you can see a link to Event Calendar Maker in the right sidebar under Premium Solutions. Clicking this link will take you to this blog page with all the details. Please leave me a comment in the comment section of this blog post, and I will get back to you as soon as I can. Thank you very much for watching the video.